we're trying to head to our marina. We're trying to avoid a Navy vessel.
You seem to be cutting us off here, and you realize we are the stand-on vessel, correct?
Good morning. We are getting ready to leave Port Canaveral. We got a beautiful sunrise here. We've been here for 2 days now. I'm up early. I'm getting ready to do a pre-check. We had a little scare a couple nights ago. In one of my pre-checks, I added oil to the generator and failed to screw in the oil drain cap, fill cap. We were able to find it in the boat. I made a little bit of a mess, but we were able to clean it up and add some oil, and the generator's been working great. I guess come along. I'm going to try and set this camera up while I'm in the bilge, which is very tight with a 6'10" guy. It's a very spacious engine compartment for most, just with how big I am. It's not the best. Quick 55-mile trip on the ICW because seas are still 5 to 7 foot out there. We're gonna wait till tomorrow to run the outside.
It's the morning of April 13th, and we're leaving Port Canaveral headed to Daytona Beach. We've officially been on this journey for only 10 days and already met some incredible people with a few hiccups along the way. Taking a moment to reflect on how we're adjusting to life on the boat. We're sleeping so well, like babies, gently rocked to sleep each night. Waking up to sunshine and water is good for our souls. When everything you need is less than 10 feet away and you start realizing how little you need around you, just a few shirts, a few pairs of shorts, and a couple docktails at night, and we're good. Our legs, though, are tired. Not from walking around, but from sitting. From hours and hours at a time. And the sea legs, yes, those are a real thing. And while we both have great sea legs, it's the land legs that I've lost. On the boat, I'm great, but on land, I lose my balance. I'm constantly rocking and moving. I have the need to hold tables and countertops when I'm sitting or standing on land. Food is a huge part of our journey, but we're down to one meal a day as we work through breakfast and lunch on most days on the boat. That makes our dinner hugely important. Often we're hangry when we get to our first meal. In Daytona Beach, McKay's was recommended to us by some locals, and it was only a quick walk from the marina. The Reuben egg rolls were fantastic, perfectly cooked, and a unique dish you can't get anywhere else. Back at the dock, we received our first boat card from Captain Brian and Admiral Vicky of Ella J from Red Wing, Minnesota, who started the loop last year. If you don't know, a boat card is a business card that each looper hands out to other boaters as an exchange of contact information, a helping hand. On this day, Brian and Vicky walked over because they had heard on the radio a black diamond was coming into Halifax Harbor Marina, and they knew of a boat by that name. Turns out that we weren't the same boat they were looking for, but we quickly struck up a conversation and learned that Brian and I used to work for the same company. Just a small reminder of how small this world is. The next morning, we said goodbye to First Matt. Our concern was that if we didn't get Matt off in Daytona Beach, we were getting further and further away from transportation, and he had a hard deadline to leave. So early morning, he took an Uber to the DeLand Amtrak station, and we were now alone on the boat for the first time on the trip. Marine fuel was a total wild card leading up to the trip, because we obviously hadn't factored in a war with Iran and the Strait of Hormuz closing. Our trip budget assumed we'd burn around 15,000 gallons of diesel, but prices quickly jumped up about $1 per gallon everywhere in Florida. We hold 800 gallons of fuel, so at an average of $6 a gallon, that's roughly $4,800 a fill-up. Our home marina in Sarasota, for example, was $7.60 a gallon when we left. We had an unexpected alert come in on the radio as we were approaching Fernandina Beach.
Tuesday, April 14th. We started in Daytona Beach, and then we are headed to Amelia Island, Fernandina only probably 30 minutes away from the, what marina are we staying up here? Fernandina Harbor Marina. And we got hailed on 16 from, I guess, the Coast Guard?
Yeah.
And we were a little confused because they said that there was a Navy ship, Navy vessel, excuse me, you were correct. Navy vessel. Where's the Navy vessel? Because they're like, you have to stay 500 yards away.
All the way around and do not cross the bow of the ship.
Yes.
Vessel.
We cannot see a vessel, which led us to do a little bit of research and realize it might be a submarine. Which is, I've never been, that I know of, this close to a submarine. So this is kind of cool. But we know that there are boats getting close enough because the Coast Guard keeps telling people to slow down and move. We just don't know what we're trying to avoid.
So we're standing by on 16 and 73 because Coast Guard said if you have questions, you can radio 73.
Should we ask a question? I'll ask a question.
It's all good. Not giving you control.
I think it's legitimate to ask a question that we're trying to head to our marina. We're trying to avoid a Navy vessel. Where is the Navy vessel? Is that a head or a building?
It looks like it's...
Homestead, you seem to be cutting us off here. You realize we are the stand-on vessel, correct? Yes, hold on. Sorry about that.
I don't know.
No, I'm going to ask. He does not want me to have.
No, I don't want to be on the Coast Guard or the Navy's watch list.
We haven't done anything wrong. We're trying to do everything right. It's kind of wild.
We're less than 6 nautical miles away from...
Yeah, literally the marina's right there.
This was a first for us. Coast Guard alerting us that there was a Navy vessel we needed to steer clear of. The only problem, we couldn't see the Navy vessel. We waited and waited and waited until we realized we weren't looking for a giant ship. We were near a submarine base, and it was a sub we were on the lookout for. The only issue, how do you look out for something you can't see? We waited almost 2 hours until we ended up following a sport fish into the inlet because someone wouldn't let me hail the Coast Guard to ask what we should do. It was very anticlimactic, and I was so bummed we didn't get to see a submarine. At every stop, we were constantly scanning for a few things. Where's the best pizza? Where's the best ice cream or bakery? And most importantly, where do the locals eat? In this case, we had several solid recommendations, including Timothy's, where it had some amazing fried oysters and shrimp tacos. After dinner, we had a bookstore, which was very interesting because Tim does not read books. He bought not one but 2 books, and he thought he made the funniest joke ever, as we often shared dark humor with each other.
Look what I'm buying.
2 books.
No, the title.
Later that evening, we popped into the Palace Saloon, the oldest bar in Florida. Fernandina Beach is historically known for its colorful history, full of slave traders, smugglers, and pirates. It's also supposedly very haunted, but unfortunately we didn't meet any ghosts on the trip. Tim Cam.
Are we going to the oldest saloon?
Yeah, we're going to the oldest saloon. The Palace Saloon. They said it is the oldest bar in Florida? We are about to find out. Tim surprised me with an impromptu interview. He wanted to know how I was settling into the trip. Here's a few moments that stood out. Also, shout out to my mama back home, who's absolutely my first call when I need help, because she's simply the best.
How are you doing?
How am I doing?
Yes. On the Great American Loop.
On the Great American Loop.
Are you still unsettled? Have you settled?
How honest am I supposed to be?
I mean, I'm going to be honest.
I think it's hard to get settled when there's an extra person on the boat because we're trying to figure out, like, there's no routine. If I were to do it again, I would have started out us for a week and then brought someone on. We hadn't seen each other, I feel like, in weeks and weeks. Every weekend we didn't have any time together. I mean, like,
I agree.
It's crazy.
But I'm going to give a shout out to First Matt.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
For all the help he gave us in the 10 days.
Oh, yes. Both things can be true at the same time.
It eased us into this life we're living, I feel.
Okay. I think the hardest part, and I was anticipating this being the hardest part, and I think it's lived up to it so far, is just your inability to plan far in advance. So, like, you had something in your head, you had markers of where you wanted to be, but, like, I didn't. So I think it was weird to be like, I almost felt like you felt like we were behind. And I'm thinking, like, we're right on time because there's no agenda. And I had trying to get my mind wrapped around there's no agenda. So I think on one hand that was hard. It was kind of hard to adjust to, like, where are we supposed to be? Where, like, not when, but like where are we supposed to be? We still don't know. Today is
Tax day.
Tax day. Thank you for sending in my taxes.
Yeah, I'm paying for them.
I paid you.
I know, but if I didn't have a checkbook, what would you have done?
I would have figured it out. I would have called my mom. My mom's my first call.
Pickle by pickle? Angry Orchard? Kiss me, I'm angry? Hey, Sarah, earlier you said this was a Tim stick?
Yeah.
Now we got a Tim stick.
Audio is what.
You want me to bring it down? Woo. Whoop.
Never.
Now we have audio. Whoa, hello. Crazy caddy drivers.
Jeez. Babe, you're supposed to hold it level.
Well, you were making fun of my views earlier. I don't know, my pants are falling down. Help me out.
We're gonna play a game. Guess how many beers Tim's had tonight?